Hey, what are you doing over there?
I'm just looking how massive this map is.
Oh, cool.
I know, after I travel abroad next semester, I'm gonna want to travel a lot more.
Wait, you're studying abroad next semester?
Yes indeed.
I don't know about that, man. Like, just going outside of this country is just such a big deal.
I don't know, I think I should be just fine.
I mean, you might suffer from a culture shock or something.
What do you mean?
I mean, the shift in time zones?
Should take me a week to adjust.
I mean, the currency?
I can exchange dollars.
The lifestyle?
That's the point of studying abroad.
I didn't even get to my most important concern.
And what is that?
I mean, it's gonna suck when you go to another country next semester, and most of the country doesn't even speak English.
Dude, I'm going to Britain.
Oh.
Yeah, I think you should travel abroad. Don't worry about the languages. You'll be just fine.
I do kind of want to explore the world as well.
That's the spirit. What are you thinking about going to?
I don't know. Ukraine?
I don't know about that one.
Russia?
Try again.
North Korea?
Definitely not happening.
Can you really blame me? I don't know anything about international politics.
Come on, just say something. Pick something, anything.
I got it. Mongolia.
Sure, I guess.
Yeah, reporting live from the SF debate where we stay and you know what we best at. Marcus Hall, Studio One, that's the best set. #1 show in the game, at your best bet. We giving y'all quality, y'all better trust that. It's for us, by us, students make the impact.
Hi again! I bet you have already discovered today's topic, studying abroad. I am sure that Christian is not the one struggling with all of that stuff. How many of you wanted to study abroad and didn't even know where to start? Well, today is your lucky day. We are going to give you some tips for deciding how to choose your destination, how to manage the procedures, and we will talk later with some international exchange students at SFSU, at some other SFSU American students that have studied abroad previously. Stay tuned for it because today we have a lot of guests. Breaking news in exclusivity for all of you. Christian, open your eyes wide because this matters to you. According to my most reputable source, myself, Mongolia is said to sink in 2 months. Even though Mongolia is completely surrounded by Russia and China, only Mongolia itself is sinking and nowhere else. I know, the truth is weird. By the way, the show must go on. So if you are planning to study abroad, now we are going to give you the definite guide to study abroad with the help of AJ and our newest co-host, Adam. Alright everyone, here we go with some useful tips and tricks to study abroad with the help of my co-hosts, AJ and Adam. Nice to meet you.
Hi, Teresa. Nice seeing you too. Hope we're excited for the program today. I know we have a bunch of guests that are really excited to share their experiences.
How you guys doing? I've talked to a lot of people with interesting and funny stories, but for now, let's get ready for tips and tricks.
I was born ready, so here we go. Tip number 1. Think carefully about your destination country. The country you are going to go is the most important decision that you need to make. If you have doubts, you can ask some exchange students about their countries. Moreover, SF State has a lot of resources. You know what your options are to study abroad. Also, you can check the Instagram account SFSU Abroad, in which a lot of exchange students tell their experiences in other countries, and they have very interesting highlights that are useful for you.
Tip number 2. The university of your choice is the place in which you're going to be spending the most of your time. So be sure that it fits your expectations and needs for your studies. See what facilities they have, how many seats they offer, and what classes are required for your major. It is your chance to learn different things that SF State does not offer and which you would like to focus on.
Tip number 3. Learn the language of the country you're traveling to in advance. Although you have courses in English, in most universities, you're going to need to know the language of the country. You can use the opportunity to learn the language and practice it when you are there. There is also a very good way to make new friends, meet new people that don't speak English. It also looks good on your resume.
Tip number 4. One word. Housing. I get chills just thinking about it. You will need to decide whether you want to be on campus or not, which neighborhood you want to live in, if you want to have roommates or not. Explore all the different options and look for the one that better fits you. And be careful, we all know what happens when you get roommates from hell.
Tip number 5, research how to get your documentation. Medical insurance, passport, international driver's license, vaccination card. You'll need to do a lot of paperwork, so be prepared for a busy few months and find out what documentation you need to have in each country. And most importantly, get an international bank that you can use any country and change currency without any cost, such as Revolut or N26. You'll also need a credit card in the currency of the country you're going to be traveling to.
Tip number 6, look for opportunities to do internships. As you work as an assistant or volunteer in a country you're going to, it is an opportunity to gain international experience and can pay for your trip abroad. So take the opportunity to fine-tune your resume, look at some job offerings, and things that interest you. Take advantage of being an international student and speak in perfect English.
Tip number 7. Be informed about the public transport of your destination and get yourself a public transport card to move through the country. Or even consider getting a car or a bike depending on where you are going to.
And tip number 8, meet as many people as possible. Join all the university events, say yes to all the plans that are proposed to you as long as they're legal, and take advantage of every moment to talk to as many people as you can and learn as much as you can about other cultures and countries. You never know when you might need friends in other places.
Tip number 9, travel as much as you can. If you can decide to study in another country, take the opportunity to explore the country and travel to as many places nearby as you can during this semester. You can also meet new people, cultures, and the best part about it all, the food.
And that was the last one. And if that wasn't enough, we are now going to talk to Francis Emmanuel, Maria Sanchez, Jan Gutierrez, and Adam. Wait, Adam? Adam?
It's okay, guys. Just need a couple of seconds to mentally prepare myself for that panel.
This is not my segment. I'm gonna go.
Thank you. Anyways, they are international exchange students or students who have studied outside the USA in previous years, like Adam. I hope you are really ready now, Adam. Let's see what our guests have to tell you.
I am joined here by Francis, Maria, and Dion, 3 students who have somewhat of an experience traveling abroad, whether it be they leave the US or are here coming to visit us. Hi guys, welcome to UnderSF Debate.
Thank you.
Of course. Are we ready to share some experiences with us today?
Sure.
Absolutely. All right, so I'll begin with my first question, pretty easy one. What I'd love to hear from you guys is what your least favorite and most favorite part about studying abroad was.
So last semester I went to the University of Birmingham in the UK. My favorite part was probably meeting a lot of people, both from California and from Europe as well. And we would just go on trips every weekend, hop on a train, go to a different city, which is pretty fun. And one of my least favorite things is the financial aspect of it, because hopping on trains every weekend can be a little bit much. So that's pretty much it.
Absolutely.
Everything, yeah.
Hi, so I'm from Spain, Madrid. This is my first time studying abroad. And I would have to say, apart from getting to meet these amazing people, local, international, also Spanish people you didn't know, I had to say maybe getting to prove yourself in certain difficult situations. Otherwise you would have your parents or your family to help you with certain situations, but the fact that you have to handle it by yourself, it's really cool, because it's a really great training for the future. And maybe the hardest part would be, of course, the financial aspect. And so I would have to say, not having my loved people here. For example, I remember about my sister or my best friend, wow, you would have loved this trip, you have loved this, this that I have lived, this experience. So that's, well, I mean, I get to send them pictures and stuff, but well, that's, I think, the hardest part.
Absolutely, absolutely.
Well, I'm Jan. I'm also from Madrid, as Maria. And the best part of studying abroad, I think it is meeting a lot of people from everywhere around the world. You wouldn't meet them, I wouldn't meet US people in Spain or French or Danish. That's the best part, I think. Also experiencing this new lifestyle, you have other time zones, you eat at 12 and we eat at 2. That's different, that's shocking. And the worst part, I think, would be maybe the different times. I have to wake up early to speak with my friends because it's like 9 hours to,
Wow.
the difference. So
9 hours.
Yeah.
that's why.
Wow, yeah, because I remember when I was in Japan, I think it's like 15 or 16-hour time difference, and it was so sad because like you wake up at 6 a.m. and your family is like, yeah, it's 10 p.m. Good night, and you're like, oh my gosh, I feel like I'm missing out. But I think in the grand scheme of things, like what all you guys are saying, it forces you to put yourself into that position, and I think that's, as everyone says, that's the best way to grow is by traveling and putting yourself into those uncomfortable situations that you kind of have to figure out, you know? Yeah, that's super interesting. I love that. I think that, I mean, that kind of leads into my next question for you guys. So if there was a piece of advice that someone could have given you, and now I know for you two, we've only been here for a short amount of time, so we're still working on grabbing that advice. But you know, maybe if there's advice you could give someone when they first enter a country, or someone who's been in a country for a while and wants to give, you know, a good piece of word about that.
Okay. A piece of advice I would like tell everyone is to not be scared. I know it can be like kind of overwhelming to be in a different place and like feel lost, but I always tell everyone like everyone's in like the same boat. Everyone's scared. Just put yourself out there, make friends, like both with the locals and like with other international students too, because those people are gonna be your friends, and the locals are gonna teach you like the non-touristy places, which can be like pretty fun to go to, and like help you tell your story when you go back home. So just make a lot of friends, put yourself out there. That will help a lot.
Absolutely, I love that. Maria?
So I think that like a material piece of advice, maybe bring a camera with you because I don't have a camera and like I take pictures with my phone, but I miss like a good like lens to capture those moments. And like a non-material advice, maybe I'm a pretty active person, so I always want to go on trips, like see a certain like part of the country, of California, for example, San Francisco. And I keep telling myself like, you've got 8 months still like to go on all the trips and travels that you want to do. So just chill, don't stress, don't be overwhelmed by that. So I would have told myself that like, you have a year, relax and enjoy.
Well, and it's like what you and I were talking about earlier, Maria, where, you know, when you have the time and you don't feel like you need to be doing all the tourist and traveling and make yourself exhausted, it puts you into that local perspective. That's really cool, you know. Maria and I were discussing how every Tuesday she loves going to Taco Tuesdays in San Francisco. And I keep on telling her that's one of the best ways to immerse yourself into the culture. Dion?
As they said also, the money part, like it's a little difficult to like manage it. So the best the best thing I could have been told is like to look for the best deals around, like to search online and also go to different markets and everything to look for the best clothes and the best price, so you can spend the money in trips and everything.
Absolutely. And that's, I think, the grand scheme of it. It's all about the experience, you know, and it's finding a way to maintain that within your experience there, you know. Well, thank you guys so much for responding. I really appreciate all your answers. We'll now go on to AJ on the street. He'll hear what the people think, well, mainly about studying abroad.
Hello, SF State Gators, and welcome to another edition of Street Talk. My name is AJ, and I'm your host for this season. Where would you want to go if you studied abroad?
That's a good question.
Where would you want to go?
Japan.
Why Japan?
Anime and skating.
Okay, if I could study abroad, Europe sounds fire.
If you were to study abroad, where would you want to go?
Probably like Europe.
I think I want to go to England.
England?
Oh, that's so basic. Costa Rica.
Costa Rica? Spain, maybe like Switzerland.
I want to go to Mexico.
Mexico, that's different. What would you do in Mexico? What would you study?
I probably want to expand my business to Mexico.
Okay, young entrepreneur, I feel it. If you're out there in Europe or wherever you said, what would you want to do out there?
Party.
Party?
Get my education though first.
No, you said party first. That's a lie. You want to party first, then education second. Dude, this is an example of what not to be, guys. What would be a fear of yours if you guys were to study abroad?
Finances.
Being an outsider and just not having like my family support around me, you know what I mean?
Yeah. You're also black, so it's not.
I am black, so I would much want to go with someone, or you know, someone like you, come with me, you know, study abroad together, you know?
So before you guys came out here, what was your biggest fear? So like before, like, you know, Like, what would be your biggest fear coming out here or beforehand?
I would say not be able to get adapted to the culture because it's kind of different.
What was your biggest fear coming to San Francisco State? Coming from, you're from Japan, you lived out there, coming here, what was your biggest fear?
Biggest fear?
Yeah,
like,
your fear.
Personally, I miss my family, my mother and my father.
That's all I have for you guys today. I'm AJ.
I'm Rachel.
I'm Scott.
I'm Teru.
Lucia, Candela,
Jason.
And we out.
And that was what the people thought about studying abroad. I think there's a general consensus within our campus that there are a few aspects that people are excited for, maybe not as excited for, you guys. Sounds like culture shock, maybe finances, missing family are all big factors among our student population. So I guess what I'll ask you is, what do you think about this? And are there any certain ideas about studying abroad that maybe should be clarified?
Well, starting with cultural shock, maybe. Yeah, I mean, I think when you go to study abroad, like to another country, to another continent, for example, in our cases, for example, the timetables are totally different. Like, as Jan said before, the hour to have lunch, the hour to have dinner, the way we do things. Also, I feel like the way we express ourselves. For example, in America, I feel like people are like more open, want to ask you about your day, and in Spain maybe not as much, or the way maybe like nightlife, it's so different from like in Spain and in the US. So yeah, I mean, I think it's pretty difficult to get like over, like you need a certain amount of time to get over like the cultural shock, but I think if you're open-minded and you like receive it well, I think you'll have no problem with that.
Absolutely. I mean, it's about immersing yourself into the culture,
totally.
And I think one thing you commented was you mentioned nightlife, and I think that's a great aspect of immersing yourself into a culture. And I know there are many things about European nightlife that's always exciting. Do you want to maybe talk to us about it? How is that different here? How is the social aspect of being a student different from where you are from where you're here?
Well, in Spain, we may go out from, 10 to 4 or 6 in the morning. And here you got at 2 a.m., I think it is, and you start at like 8 p.m. So that's
really early for
us.
us.
It's really early for us.
Well, you heard it here, San Francisco State students.
It is early for us.
Absolutely, absolutely. Francis, how about you?
As for finances, I would like to tackle on that. In Europe, everything is much more like cheaper for some reason. There's no sales tax there, which is surprising when I got there. Like when I went shopping, there's like no extra like £2. So it's like, oh, okay. But once you like start shopping, you're like, okay, this is cheap. That adds up. So that's like the financial struggle aspect there.
Yes.
So just like plan everything wisely, but rent there pretty cheap. That's why I moved there, for experience and to save some money too.
Absolutely.
And it was really surprising because I paid like a hefty amount here for rent. There's just like half of the amount. So I went there to save and have fun. So just
and hey, that's what it's about.
Yeah, it's worth it.
Absolutely.
It was worth it. Yeah.
Absolutely. I love to hear that. Definitely. I mean, yeah, I think culture shock, finances, they're all things that you need to think about, but it's all about researching, know. And maybe you can tell me, how long did you research where you were going to before you came? Did you know a lot about it? Did you kind of dive head first?
In my case, I knew nothing about like San Francisco, the life. I mean, it was not my first option, but I was so glad that I like got in this option. I just discovered it once I got here, so it was nice. I would have maybe I would have thanked myself in the past for having done research, but I'm pretty good like I am not right now.
Absolutely, absolutely. How about you, Dion?
I did a little bit of research because in Europe we don't have the same currency also, like it's the euro, and here you have dollars. That made it a little bit difficult because we had to do some paperwork and something with the banks.
Absolutely, that's definitely something to think about for sure. And we mentioned in our tips and tricks, it really is smart to get an international bank account that you can use. I personally did not have one when I studied abroad, and it does definitely have an influence on what you can do. But I think, in the long run, I think my biggest advice, and we talked about this earlier, it's just to do it all. It's like don't hold back at all when you're studying abroad, because we're at the opportunity in our lives where we can do it, and you need to take bull by the horns and really, really go down with that. So that's really, really great to hear. Awesome, you guys. Well, hey, thank you so much for your time. I really, really do appreciate it.
Thank you.
Yeah, of course, absolutely. And now let's check in with Christian. Let's hope maybe he's made a decision about studying abroad. We'll find out.
Guess Mongolia isn't the best place for me, but I do have an idea.
What do you have in mind?
Follow me.
Where'd you get that dartboard?
Don't ask. I knew this would happen.
What are you gonna do?
All right, so I'm gonna throw a dart at a country, and whatever country I hit, I'll study abroad there.
You're gonna let a dart decide your future?
That's what needs to happen. So be it.
If you say so.
All right, 3, 2, 1, go.
The Atlantic Ocean.
Huh. Nice.
As you can see, studying abroad is not always as easy as it could seem. Please guys, don't be like Christian. If you are struggling to decide where to go, or you need some information or updates, you can go to office hours of the San Francisco State University International Education Exchange Council, or to the country's ambassador's table in front of the Cesar Chavez every Labor Day from 11 to 1 p.m. By the way, we really hope that the tips and tricks and experiences of our guests have been useful for you and you have enjoyed the program. Before we go, we have a special appearance today. Give it up to Luna de Bluma.
My name is Luna de Bluma, and I'm gonna sing for y'all today. This song is called Brown Child. Ooh, ooh, yeah. I see light peeking through the clouds. Beautiful brown child, I just love your style. I think you're heaven sent, wanna keep you around. Every word so sweet coming out your mouth. And I never wanna wake up without you, 'cause I couldn't make up about you. See it in your face every single day. You never walk away, no, no. Said I never wanna wake up without you, 'cause I couldn't make up about you. See it in your face every single day. You never walk away, no, 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 no. So do you know who you are? You're shining like a star. So much beauty inside of you. So that you can Said when you're alone or when you're in doubt, and you're getting older like in a drought. And don't forget about that child that's deep in your eye, with a smile like the sun and eyes like the stars. Stars, stars, whoa. And I wish we could live this earth forever, spend every day, grow old together. And one day I'll write you a 4-page letter, then maybe you'll understand how much I love you. So do you know who you are? Nothing like a star. So much beauty inside of you. you are. You're shining like a star. So much beauty inside of you, so that you get it all. And that song was called Brown Child. Thank y'all so much. This next one is actually brand new. Brown Child is about 3 years old. But this next one is something special. It's brand new. I've never performed it in front of anybody. Maybe my roommate. But yeah, it's called August. I hope y'all enjoy a little love story. Yeah, yeah. I met you back in August, yeah. You gave me a run for my money, so let me just be honest. 'Cause lately you're all that I see in my dreams, my dreams. And I just can't seem to get close enough. Why you so far? Oh my, oh my, oh my. So what do we do when I can stand? Yeah, yeah, yeah. And where do we go when September begins? Said we don't know, but that's okay. Said we gon' be alright, as long as I got you by my side. When I can stand, hey, yes. So how much longer can we go at this? We growing stronger every day, and I don't wanna miss another minute, another hour, another second with you. And I know you feel the same. You got that one thing, I want some more. Tilt all your energy when you walk through the door. You got that one thing, I want some more. And you the type be right about it. You said, baby, you amazing, ain't no need to change. And you deserve the finer things. You see me on the stage and I said, baby, you amazing. The dimples on your face, they go deeper than emotions you scared to share with me. So what do we do when I can stand? Yeah, yeah, yeah. And where do we go when September begins? Said we don't know, but that's okay. Said we gon' be alright, as long as I got you by my side. When I can stand, hey, yes. And you're my dream come true. I see it when I look at you. You, oh, 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 and you're my dream come true. And I see it when I look at you. That one's called August. Like I said, it's brand new. Hopefully it'll be out soon. My name is Luna the Bluma. You can listen to me on all streaming platforms. That's Luna the Bloom with an A at the end. Thank y'all so much. Based out of East Oakland.
That's been amazing, Luna. Thank you so much for coming, and we wish you luck in all your future projects.
Thank you so much.
And thank you so much to all of you for watching the second episode of UnderSF Debate. We hope to see you again next week for the terrific Halloween special program. See you there. Bye.
Reporting live live from the SF debate where we stay and you know what we best at. Marcus Hall Studio One, that's the best set. #1 show in the game, at your best bet. We giving y'all quality, y'all better trust that. It's for us, by us, students make the impact. Run by the pit, man, you better tune in. Yeah, we got their minds lifted, oh so gifted. Serving greatness, the city reverberates this. Communicate through the screens and the ways can we broadcast and put the B up in Becca. For radio shows, podcasts, we the Mecca. Check up, hear that 1-2 from the mic check. Now it's time to go live, don't know what you might get. I know that you like this, the content is priceless. And after this song, I just know that I made a fan. And let me give a shout out to Jada Jans for all these young artists, yeah, you gave a chance. Let's jam out to the music, get you in the mood quick on the SF debate. Yeah, let's do this.